There are signals all around us. Most of them go unnoticed. Some are born able to sense them, born with the veil still present, a mark set to thin the boundary between worlds. For a white witch, the boundary never fully closes. It becomes something you can see through, something you can feel. Respond not to fear the unknown, but to understand it, to listen when it reaches back beyond the veil with Tracy Jones.
Good evening, and welcome to Beyond the Veil with me, Tracy Jones. I'm doing much better this week with the buttons. Check this out. Look at this. And I spelled everything correctly because last week I had a doozy wrong, and I'm not going to repeat it. At any rate, thank you for tuning in. You can get my book, my one and only book, Witchcraft by Blood and Tradition, A Beginner's Guide. It's about, of course, it has stuff in there for witches, but there's also a plethora of things in there that can just make your everyday life easier. You know, the cleaning and health and beauty. I teach you how to create your own apothecary. You know, and then of course, yes, I go into the witch stuff, and a lot of this comes from my great grandmother, who in my family was known as a healer or cunning folk, because back then in the country you didn't really want people to know. Being called a witch was a city thing, and it was looked down upon. So, and in my family it's every third generation. So here I am, and I'm not ever writing a book again, because while it was a labor of love, at the end it was more labor than love. So with that being said, also tonight we have on from Strange Knocks magazine, Miss Gwen, and I gave you her contact information to sign it. The magazine is beautiful. It reminds me of the National Geographic's, only better, because the beautiful slick stock that they use, and everything in there is perfection. Beautiful thing, something to put on your coffee table. Remember coffee table books? Also, if you have a question or situation about the paranormal that you're not quite comfortable asking other people about, you can always ask me. I've heard about just about everything that there is to hear, but don't take that as a challenge. You can send me a message on my Gmail, which is paranormalwhitewitch@gmail.com, and it'll be down there scrolling. Oh, yes, and please, please subscribe to my channel. Easiest way to find me, and I wasn't sure how to put that long link in there. When you go into YouTube, just type in Tracy Jones, TRACEYJONES -K4F, and it'll take you right to me. I thought that would be much easier than, the address. So with all of that nonsense being said, here we go.
Hi.
Look, I'm buttoning. I am hitting buttons here and there and everywhere. I am. You don't
You're a
understand.
professional now. Look at you, just rolling through.
So, Miss Gwen, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Actually, I'm doing really good.
Good. For those out there that don't know you, and I don't know why they wouldn't,
You'd be surprised.
Please tell us about yourself.
Oh my goodness. I have been a paranormal investigator pretty much my whole life. I have seen spirits as in my home as early as like 4 or 5 years old. And every house I've lived in has had some kind of spirit there. I've had some negative experiences, and I've had mostly positive experiences. But then a few years ago, Bigfoot walked into my life, and I jumped down that rabbit hole and created the brand Got Knockers, which is a Bigfoot brand of merchandise. And then I created a festival that we're doing our 4th year this year, and it has exploded. And then I decided in my spare time, I would write a magazine, and I opened a brick
As
and mortar.
one does.
Right. So then we opened a store, in the Susquehanna Valley Mall. So I'm everywhere all at once, and I don't sleep, and you know.
I'm tired listening to you. I got myself doing one show a week now.
Yeah.
And then I got the house, and I don't know if I ever told you, but I've got a herd of cats. We have 8 here.
Oh my
So
god.
it's like scrubbing everything every day,
Yeah.
Um, that's another show. But I couldn't do all you did. When I was doing 2 shows, it was too much.
Oh, and
I
I'm
like
sure
the
there is
one because I feel like I can focus more on the
right.
person rather than
Right.
like, oh God, I got
Yeah.
another show now.
Yeah.
So now you said Bigfoot entered your life. Please explain how Bigfoot entered your life.
I was never even remotely like interested in Bigfoot. Wasn't even positive that it was a real thing. You know, if it's real, yeah. If it's not, whatever. And one day, my husband and I were going away, and we were driving in the car, and I just happened to look up, and I saw this giant black figure walking across a cornfield, like you and me walk, only moving very quickly. And I just stared at it. I was like, what am I looking at? Because I've hunted in this area my entire life, and I have never seen anything like this ever. So I'm eliminating all of the things, right? It's not a bear.
Right.
Bears don't walk like that, and a bear wouldn't be on 2 feet walking that fast. And at the end of the day, all I had left was it's a Bigfoot. So I'm a chatty
Okay.
Cathy. I talk all the time, and all day long I was quiet because I'm on my phone. I'm pulling up research. I'm pulling up reports in Pennsylvania, and then reports in my county, and reports in my area, and there were a lot of them. I honestly didn't think I was going to find any. I thought I was losing my mind. I didn't. I saw something I couldn't have seen. Right? It's not here in Pennsylvania. It's not even really a real thing. And quickly learned that holy shit, a lot of people in this area have had some kind of encounter or experience. And oh, thank you.
She's awesome, by the way. She has Coven of Curiosities. And you want to talk about a good storyteller, her and Robert Effler from NCI.
Oh, yeah.
They have a show just on stories. So you've got to.
I should go.
You got to hook. You two have to hook up sometime.
I don't get to see other people's podcasts very often because I'm always busy.
Right.
Plus, and I work a full-time job on top of all of that other stuff. So it's like,
okay, you're busy. I get it.
Just a little.
Busy.
I mean,
you're busy. I've got a herd of cats in one show, and you're doing all this. Let me quickly say hi to Dave here.
Yeah, Dave's wonderful.
Hey, Dave.
Okay. He'll have to tell me if he got his magazine yet, because if he didn't, I'm just going to send him a new one out tomorrow. Because I don't know what's going on with the post office. It's ridiculous.
It's Dave. Trust me, it's Dave.
Because I sent magazines out, right? And I sent one to the very next town. I could have driven it there, I know, but I'm busy and I don't have time to go hand deliver magazines. So I mailed it, right? It's literally less than 5 miles.
Still didn't have it?
It took a week to get there. And people that I mailed to in another state got theirs before that. But then other people like RPG in Florida, I still don't know if he got it. Dave, as of the other day, still didn't have his magazine. I ordered certificates on Canva for the tattoo expo that I did. And it shows on the tracking that they were in Carlisle, which is not far from me, maybe 2 hours.
Right.
Since February 27th. So apparently that order has gotten lost and Canva is making me a whole new order. But I'm like, what is happening with the mail? Like,
yeah, I got mine, and he said Dave is still waiting for his. It's a beautiful. I didn't bring it with me at the table. It's beautiful. When I first saw it, I mean, I always thought it was pretty when you see it on TV or computer or whatever. But then I was holding it, and what you don't know about me is that way back in the day, I used to sell display advertising for county newspaper. Okay. So I am as well versed as I'm going to get when it comes to stick stock and heavy pound and this, that, and the other. I get some of the lingo. I remember some of it. I was like, this is gorgeous. I mean, the pages are nice. They're thick, if that makes sense. You know, you're holding
Magazine
something
pages are
substantial.
usually very paper thin, like they're very thin.
Yeah, like those. I don't
Ours
even know
are
if they make People magazine anymore, but something silly like that. It's like tissue, one ply tissue. What
yep,
good is it?
yep, not ours. My husband's always saying, maybe you could use a lighter paper and it wouldn't cost so much money. And I'm like, but I don't want to skimp on the quality.
I get you. I get you.
I,
So
I
here's a
just
little
don't want to skimp on it.
Here's a little message from Cindy. Oh, thank you, Tracy. I would love to chat with you, Gwen. I write all kinds of short stories, paranormal cryptids, and all things strange and unusual.
Well, you
So,
should submit some of them stories to my email so I can put them in
okay.
the magazine.
Is that the strangeknocks at gmail.com?
Yes. Yep.
There you go, girl. Get on it.
Yep. 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 I'm
No.
always looking for articles.
Okay. Okay. Now, what? So you saw this thing that you believed was a Bigfoot,
Yes.
and that kind of got you down a rabbit hole. Have you seen any more than the one?
I've
Not
had
that that's not enough.
no, right? That was enough to shake my whole world. Honestly, I often say it's the 30 seconds that changed my entire life.
Okay.
It changed everything about my life. It changed me as a person. It changed how I view myself. It changed how I interact with people. Like it changed everything. I stopped caring what people thought about me. And you'll hear me often say, I don't care if you believe me or not. I had my experience. I'm
Yeah,
standing behind it
exactly.
100%. If you want to have an experience, you can come camp in my yard because other people have, and they're almost never there when I wake up in the morning.
There
They
you
pack
go.
up in the middle of the night and they leave. And so, like, if you don't believe me, come spend the night. You'll either leave here in the middle of the morning or you'll believe me in the morning. Either way, that's going to happen.
Right.
But I Bigfoot has given me also like an entire family of people that I never knew I needed.
Right. Right.
You know, I have assembled like the greatest people ever
Hmm.
that I would have never met if Bigfoot hadn't walked across that cornfield that day.
Right.
Like I have some amazing, just amazing people in my life that
Hmm.
I wonder what the hell I did before Bigfoot. Like where were these people all my life? It's
Hmm.
just crazy. It's just crazy. And
Yeah. That's
I
why I tell
don't
people,
regret it.
your life can turn on a dime. And when I get like a premonition, whatever, I see something for somebody, I said, it's not in stone. This is what I see right now. I might be right, I might be
Right.
wrong, or you could go out and turn left instead of right, and that
Yeah.
changes everything. And I've never told anybody like you're going to have an accident or something
Right.
like that. I said anybody that says that they're an expert at this, I said, is full of hooey because. And then they asked me, well, how does it work? I don't know.
I don't know
It's
either.
just to me, it's like breathing. I've always had it. I couldn't
Mhm.
tell you how it works. I know with different feels, like if it gets real cold, and
Yes.
I know the signals from when they're there, but how I receive messages, hell if I know. I
Yeah.
don't.
It's crazy,
You know.
isn't it? It's
Yeah.
absolutely crazy. Because I'm like you, I get messages all the time,
Okay.
especially when I'm by myself, because I'm not focused on other people and what they're saying and what they're doing. And like if I'm driving down the road, if I'm by myself, you can guarantee that if you came up behind me and were beeping the horn, I would not hear you because the music is all the way up.
Yeah.
I'm having my own little concert in the car, singing at the top of my lungs, dancing while I'm driving. And things would just pop into my head just randomly. And I'm like, what the hell is that? Where did it come from? And it has nothing to do with anything I'm doing right now. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. Yeah. But in the shower, I'm washing my hair, boom,
Hmm.
something pops in there. But I've been paying a lot more attention to things that come to
Okay.
me and the signs that come to you because, I've had some animals come into my life recently. Like I hit an
Okay.
owl on the way home from work and I bawled. You would have thought I committed murder. It flew in front of my car. I hit it. I couldn't help it. I couldn't stop
Right.
it. Turned around to go back and see if it was an owl because I had this gut feeling that, oh my God, I just hit an owl. And I just love hawks and owls and eagles. And I go back, and there she is on the road. And I picked her up, and I took her home. I'm bawling, this owl in my hand. But a couple of days later, I was seeing hawks. I saw a bald eagle on my way to work one day that just perched in a tree and like was watching us drive by. And I was like, oh my God. Like, it's just, I feel like, oh, such just majestic animals they are. And I just, so I'm paying attention to everything because everything happens for a reason.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I know with me, with birds, I see cardinals. Normally you see one cardinal at a time. And when my youngest aunt died, there was her, my mother, and the older aunt. The day of her funeral, 3 red cardinals showed up on my front porch and were sitting on the railing. It was like, oh, hi guys. They're so sweet. But and like you said, I don't care if anybody believes me or not. I know what I saw. I'm not getting money for any of this. So why would I? What incentive do I have?
I spend way more money on Bigfoot gear and research crap and going to places that I'm ever going to make. Ever. Right. Like I bought a $700 drone last year that follows me around in the woods on its own.
Okay.
It's got facial recognition and it follows you. It can follow in front of you. It can follow behind you. It was cool. And I was like, I didn't tell my husband for a while that I bought this thing. He knew it came because I was playing with it, but he didn't know how much it was. And then I go to England and little Daniel outed me and said, Gwen, how much did you pay for that? And I was like, no. My husband was right there going, yeah, how much did you pay for that? And I was like, $700. It was $700, but it was really cool. I'm never going to make that money back. No way.
Yeah. See, that's how I feel about my book. It was more of a bucket list thing. I really, really, really just for like 20 years, I wanted to write something, but I wasn't really sure what. And people were probably thinking, you're a witch. What else would you write about? But the timing never seemed right. So if it turns into a bestseller, that's great. If it sells,
I bought it.
I'm now back. You bought it?
It's downstairs next to my bed.
Well, hey, okay.
I bought your book, girl.
Right now I'm about 25. But like you with the drone, I'll never make all that money back that went into it. But I can say I did it. I did this. You can say, and you can't take it with you. So why the hell not?
No.
Of course, it does leave him open to go buy something ridiculously expensive. Oh, is he there?
Somewhere in the house, yeah. But he would
be a very bad husband to go out and spend something on a ridiculous amount of money on something. I wanted to tell Cindy, if she's still in the audience, please look behind Gwen. There's a doll back there. Cindy has 3 haunted dolls. And and she loves them. And the last one came from, do you know Michael Webb?
I've heard that name.
Monsters Unleashed.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, he had one that had been in his family eons and eons and eons, and it was starting to, there was some weird stuff starting to go on. So he sent it to Cindy, who is now going to travel with it. I'm like, you don't travel with dolls? No. That's just me, though. Even as a kid, people were playing with Barbies and dolly babies and all that. Not me.
My husband said when I bought this doll, I don't do dolls. This is the only doll you will find in my house. I will never buy a doll somewhere because you just don't know what you're taking home. I could not help myself. Like I was at Penhurst of all places. And the lady next to me was selling these dolls. And this is a big doll. She's probably 3 foot tall, maybe. She looks smaller, I guess. And I could not stop checking on this doll to see if she sold it. I couldn't stop. My husband was like, don't you think that's
so you were
weird?
Just drawn to it?
I was drawn to this doll. And finally I was like, I have to buy her before somebody else does. $160 later, I have a doll. I strapped it in the back seat with the seatbelt. My husband was like, this is creepy as hell. Don't you think it's kind of weird that you couldn't stop thinking about this doll? And I'm like, I don't know, maybe. And he's like, where do you think you're putting it when we go home? And I'm like, in the bedroom. He's like how you are.
Oh, I have to agree with him.
You find another
I have to say, yeah.
Oh, here she
I
is. She hangs out with me in my office. I talk to her. Like if I walk by her, if I have to move her, I'm like, come on, sweetie, we're going to move over here. We're going to do, yeah.
So you know what it is? You've done all that extra work and all these, conferences and magazines and this, that, and the other. You've lost part of your mind. And now you have to carry a doll with you. Now, I'm just
happened, so I don't know.
Yeah. So we have, I'll put it back up again. We have Mr. Dave in the audience who says, I got a doll for Tracy. No, I know. I have your address, Dave. No, don't, no.
She will
I know. Dave used to have a paranormal team here in Maryland called MPR, Maryland Paranormal Research. Okay. And I was one of his people. So that's how I came to know him. So, and that's actually, if it weren't for him, I wouldn't be sitting here tonight because he needed a guest one time. And I was like, I'll talk. I don't care. Right. And I went on, and then somebody had suggested I do my own podcast and, was taken under a wing, so to speak. And while that is way in the past now, and I'm doing my own thing the way I want to do it, and all that. Yep. I wouldn't have any of this were it not for Dave. So thank you, Dave. I appreciate everything that you've done.
He actually writes the magazine.
I saw his nice little picture in there.
Yeah.
I think I sent you something. I can't remember.
You did.
Okay.
I'm sure of it.
Okay.
I haven't even begun to start formatting the articles yet. So
no, I'm not.
Like if you send me something, I usually format it and then I'll send it to you to see it before it goes in the magazine. But I don't show you the whole thing. I just send you yours. And then
Okay. So you sent a lot of pictures. Can we go through them and take a look?
Sure.
Okay, what is this?
Okay, so this is my chicken coop, which is about 7 foot tall here on the where it's underneath where it says full. That's at about 7 foot tall. And this was Christmas Eve. We had the chicken coop had gotten attacked.
Okay.
Very bizarre. Like, it wasn't destroyed at all. Somebody just pulled the fencing away and rolled it back like you would buy it on a roll at the store.
Okay.
And I had a couple of chickens missing. So I put out these trail cams because if it's Bigfoot, right? Bigfoot's not going to come around because of the trail cams. That's the whole thought process, right? Well, Christmas Eve, we're having a party at 6:30. People are arriving at our house. And this photograph was taken on the trail cam. And this is where all of our activity comes from, behind the chicken coop. So once you hit that wood line, it goes down the hill very steeply.
Mm-hmm.
So when I saw this photograph off the trail cam, I called my friend who's a police officer and I said, you need to get your ass over here and show me how to measure how tall something is, because I want to do it accurately. Like, what do the police do? What is your thing, right? So he came over and we walked this and we looked and we compared like where the tree branches and stuff are. And the one above where it says -14 degrees Celsius is about 9 feet tall. And the one in the other one that says 6 foot, that's about 6 foot tall, where the land goes down.
Am I looking at a set of eyes where above the negative? Oh, ew, that's creepy.
That's eye shine above the thing. The one.
And how tall did you say that was?
About 9 feet.
On where it's not in here.
It's about 9 foot tall. This one over here, the 6 foot one, looks like it's looking at the 9 foot one.
Yeah,
I had some experiences. I like to camp in the yard. Me and my girlfriend, we put up 2 tents and we each camp out in the yard. And I put out voice recorders all night long. And we have gotten footprints like around us. And so I've often thought that there's at least a juvenile here. So this kind of like confirmed what I suspected, that we had at least a juvenile and an adult. And so this eye shine like sealed it for me. What creeps my mom out is that she was showing up at my house at 6:30 at night, and this was watching people show up. And she was like, "That's creepy as hell."
Well, so and if it's a benign Bigfoot, that's from what I've been told, that's what they do. They watch.
They
They
watch.
just
Yep.
hang
Yep.
back and chill for a little bit.
Yep.
That's still a little disconcerting, though. Ugh.
Yep.
The
But it
only
was
time,
some
go
proof.
ahead.
It was some
No, no,
proof.
no.
You know?
I've only had, and I'm told it's a Bigfoot encounter. I still don't know what exactly it is, but I went down with my husband with Gray Googles, and Trisha was there, and a bunch of people, and they did a God helmet method on me along with the Nestis method. Are you
Oh,
familiar with either
no,
one?
no,
Okay,
not at all.
the God helmet is like a loose swimmer's cap that goes over, and it's connected to these electrodes.
Oh,
No more harmful than a couple of magnets from your refrigerator. The process, the theory is that you have your left and your right hemisphere. It tries to merge them or open you up. Well, I'm already open,
right.
so I'm sitting there by myself in this big field. Everybody else was at least 50 feet away from me or so. And I got the cameras. I'm sitting in a chair, and I start seeing, and I don't wait to describe it, is, did you ever eat chiclet gum as a kid? The little
Yes.
yellow, the confetti that was on, that's what I started seeing. And I'm down
Oh,
there and I'm playing with it because, your eyes are covered, your ears are covered. You can't hear or see
right.
anything. And my husband said, "You look like you were doing your Stevie Nicks impression." I said, "No, I was playing with the thing." All of a sudden, at the far end, I see this big shadow thing. And I'm thinking, with my background, it's just a shadow person.
Right.
They're coming to look. Well, when I tell you within a millisecond, it went from here to here, right
Ooh,
up in my face. I'm not exaggerating. And I was like,
wow.
and I really started swatting because I'm like, get the hell away from me. They don't bother me. And then I kept hearing at least 3 times around the circle that I was sitting in, footsteps, heavy footsteps. And I'm thinking to myself, great ones, everybody over there, and he's tromping around,
Right.
and it's going to get picked up. Oh, well, come to find out, I was told through a couple of different people like Jerry Millwood and Boom Boom from Bigfoots of Michigan that it might have been an alpha
Oh,
checking to see who is doing what.
right.
And he charged me to see what my reaction would be. And then he was walking around because nobody was walking around. And I know what I heard in my earphones, but
Right.
um, I always thought you had to see them physically and that was it. But
Yeah.
I've learned that that's not always so, that they can communicate other ways. So if that was him, one of those, that was a little creepy. I thought to myself, that's a tall shadow person,
Yep.
because it
Yep.
had to be a good 7-8 feet tall. And you don't really see too many people 7-8 feet tall.
No. No.
Oh, I wanted to tell you, you should look up Monsters Unleashed. Trish got some evidence of what looked like a dog man, or is a
Oh,
dog man. It's in one of the past couple of episodes that they did, and the pictures are unreal. I mean,
oh,
just
wow.
unbelievable.
I would love to see that.
Oh yeah, it's good.
Oh.
All right, so let us see what is. There it is.
Ah,
Strange Knocks.
that was the July edition. Now, I have ghost hunted Crescent Sanatorium. It's one of my favorite places to go. I have met some of the most amazing people there that I'm still friends with today. I love Crescent. I had
Okay,
some great experiences there at Crescent. Um,
is
I
that
have
in
no
PA?
idea. What's that?
Is it in PA?
Yeah, it's out by Altoona, Pennsylvania,
Oh,
up
okay.
around State College, Altoona. It was it's been a lot of things. It was a sanatorium. It was a tuberculosis center. They've the one building, I'm not sure if it's the one we're looking at. They had
Right.
an orphanage because a lot of the tuberculosis patients had children, and when they died, the children became orphans, and they had a house that was just the orphans, and then later turned it into a prison. So they had, inmates there. So it's very, very interesting place. Very.
I
It
just
is
wrote the
every-
name down. I would love to see that.
It
And
is amazing.
my
And if you're
husband,
going to go,
cameraman
text
Bob.
me because I'll go too. I'll meet you there.
Okay. Oh,
I
that
love
would be
it.
awesome.
I love it
Here
there. It's so
we have a
amazing.
message from Trisha. Gwen, we can show you on our show this weekend. The encounter really had me mess. Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
love
And of course, you know, she had her keyboard warriors going after her,
of
but
course you did.
I've known them long enough. It's father and daughter. And
Right.
Trisha and Michael, they're the most down to earth, legit people you're ever going to meet. Okay.
Right.
And to hear the video, to hear her voice and the terror that was in her voice, I said, you either deserve all the Oscars in the world or that's legit. And I'm going with legit because I have never had any reason to doubt this young lady.
That's
So,
crazy. That's crazy.
and let's see, what else do we have? Here we go with this one.
Ooh. I love this cover so much. So I went to England. I've been to England a couple times now in the last year. And
Okay.
I got the pleasure of meeting Craig Dowsett, who played Winnie the Pooh in Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey. And we
Okay.
became friends. So I had to do an interview. I mean, I wanted to. It's not like I had to. I really wanted to interview Craig and put it in this magazine. And this was one of the photographs that he sent me to use. And I freaking love it. I love it. It was it was amazing. It was a great. Well, they're all great, but every time I do one, it gets better and better and better.
That is an awesome picture. You know, the first thing I thought of when I saw it was he's got to be related to the Grinch because he's got that kind of Grinchy look on
He
his
does, yeah, the mask. He did an amazing job in that movie. Absolutely amazing. And it's a pleasure to call him my friend. That's for totally sure. But that was our October edition last year, so it was a lot of fun.
Dave says to share your encounter from there, Gwen.
My encounter from
seeing what you're seeing. I don't know if he means from. Well, Dave, get back on the thing and tell us.
Yeah. Because
go ahead.
I've had a million things happen, so I'm not sure which encounter he's talking about.
Oh, then he says Crescent.
Oh,
did you meet? Ding, we got it.
Crescent has they have a building that it's called the hospice, the end of life building. It's where they put hospice patients when they were going to die. And I'll never forget this as long as I live. I'll have dementia and remember this experience. So I was hired at Ghost Hunts USA when they were in business, and Angel Morales was my trainer. And I was at Crescent doing training with him. And he and his wife are so lovely. I can't stand it. And so Angel and I are in the bottom floor of Crescent, and we have a group of people. There was like 3 groups of people, and we were kind of trading people out for different buildings. And we put action items down, like cat balls and REM pods, and we had everybody line up in a doorway. So you're in a doorway of a room, and we're talking to the spirits, and you could hear something come down the stairs. It was crazy. Okay. I had like chills. Like I was actually a little afraid. And then all of a sudden the cat balls start going off and the REM pod goes off. And it got so crazy that the REM pod just was not shutting off. Like the ghost just would not leave it alone. And it was incredible. Everybody in the group was like, wah, wired. So we take that group out, we switch out for another one. We bring a group back into the same space, same REM pods, same cat balls, absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
They got nothing. And I was like, what is happening? But it was just crazy.
I'm glad you said that because people see these television shows, which I put them on and watch them because I find them to be the best comedy shows on TV. Just at that moment.
You mean when they throw themselves into the hallway? I'm like, come on.
Oh my God. Not to mention the podcast that every podcast has to say, we almost died. It was a
Oh,
demon.
I
Oh,
know.
the scariest night of my life. No, it's not.
Oh, it's
It's not
always a
that.
demon, isn't it? Jesus, it's insane.
That's too funny. That's too funny. Okay, so then we have
That was my
Marie
very
Laveau.
first one. And I have the biggest fascination with Marie Laveau from New Orleans.
Mhm.
She was just an amazing individual. Die-hard Catholic for all those witch haters. She was a die-hard Catholic. The
Mhm.
Catholic Church came to her and asked her for blessings and to heal people and all of this stuff. And the Pope was even there and saw her from stuff that I
Ooh,
read. Like,
okay.
you can say witchcraft is witchcraft and whatever you want to do. And hoodoo and voodoo are supposed to be like the worst, right? No,
Well,
they're not the
from
worst. They're just
from what I was told by Spirit Experience from Mike and Ty, hoodoo is a religion. I mean, voodoo is a religion and hoodoo is the practice. Like I can be
yes,
Wiccan, my practice is witchcraft kind of thing.
right.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Go ahead.
She was just an amazing woman. I don't know if I have some tie to her in my past life or what, but when we go to New Orleans, we go every year. I do not leave there without going to Marie Laveau's House of Voodoo. I do not leave there without spending at least $100 because I got to buy books. I got to buy, different ingredients that I can't find. Like I have an apothecary, but there's some
Hmm.
things that you just can't find here. So, and
Right.
I will find them in New Orleans. Like, and I'm like,
Oh
I'm
yeah.
buying some of that. Like, I need,
Oh
for my apothecary, I got to have some of that. And she's just fascinating. And I had to put her
yes.
on the front cover of my very first magazine. She had to go there.
Absolutely.
And of course,
Absolutely.
Arugaru was there, which is in New Orleans in Louisiana. And I
Hmm.
love stories of Arugaru. And I'm dying for somebody to take me out. I want to go out looking for the Rougarou the next time I'm down
Okay.
there. So if you're
Okay.
watching this show and you live in New Orleans, I want to go.
Oh, hell yeah. Look, I'll carry your bags. I haven't been to New Orleans in the French Quarter since like the 10th or 11th grade. We went down for Mardi
I
Gras.
would move there in a second.
Oh,
Like if
yeah.
my husband said, let's go to New Orleans, I'd have this house packed before he could blink his eyeballs. I'd be like, let's
Oh,
go.
yeah. Yeah,
I'm ready to go.
absolutely.
Yeah,
One, I
gorgeous stuff.
have a funny story to tell you. Well, funny to me now about Marie Laveau. When I was, now I'm going to be 61. So when I was still in diapers, we're talking like 4,000 years ago. Okay. When I was still in diapers, my father, my mother, an aunt, a half brother, two half brothers. We were all, my dad used to love to drive those big tuna boat Cadillacs, like
Oh
there
yeah,
was like a mini apartment on wheels. So we went down to visit Stella, and I think his name was Herb, Stella and Herb, who owned an antique store in the French Quarters, and they would get them, give my parents stuff all the time.
yeah.
And after they were done visiting, we're on the way back home from Louisiana to Baltimore, and all of a sudden, my two half brothers and my one aunt, they were all very young at the time. There was like a 30-year difference between my mother and her younger
Oh, yeah.
sister. It was a second marriage kind of a thing.
Right.
So they're all like in that same age group. And of course, me with, the diapers and whatnot. They're starting to make fun of Marie Laveau. And they're making fun. And they're making,
Ooh.
because they don't know. They're making fun. They're doing this, that. And my father was not one to believe in anything. If he could
Right.
see it, then he believed it. Otherwise, he wasn't a very religious man. He believed in God and in his own way and, that kind of stuff. But he was just straight laced all the way down. So as they're hooting and hollering and having a grand time, a fog starts rolling in and it gets heavier and
Mm.
thicker. And he's looking around to the point where I'm told he couldn't see a foot in front of him. So he said, everybody shut up. Stop. I don't know where we are. I have no idea where this road is. And at that point, he passed a sign, and I'm totally making up the number because I don't remember that part of the story. It said Route 33. Okay. So he goes, everybody be quiet. I'm going to go a little farther and hopefully I can find a business. I can get our way back to Baltimore. So he pulls into a diner and he goes in, and it's, obviously your truck drivers and your waitresses and the cooks and everybody. And he said, explain the situation. I'm trying to get back and I passed Route 33. And they said, sir, there is no Route 33 in Louisiana. And he went, okay. And then got the directions to get his way back and got in the car. And I'm told in a very stern, unlike my father voice, he said, for the rest of the ride home, everybody shuts the hell up. Nobody says anything. But first, each one of you are going to apologize to Ms. Lavelle and tell her you're sorry and you will never make fun of her again. And with that, fog's gone. Just geez. Like that. Yeah, I love that. So it always gives me goosebumps,
That's
And
awesome.
Like, oh yeah, I'm fascinated with her. I think she's just
she was amazing. She was absolutely amazing.
Okay, let's see. Here we go. There's we did that one. I put that in twice. Okay.
I probably did more than one.
Okay, so what's this?
Well, let me just tell you. So I was home by myself. My husband at the time traveled for work and he was not home. And I was getting ready to go to bed. I turned all the lights out and I was walking around my side of the bed and I went to close the mini blind. And that's what I saw looking back at me. And I snapped a photo of it fast. And I started looking around the house because all the lights were out. And I was like, what is making that reflection? That's the first thing I thought. There's a reflection out there. There was nothing on inside the house to make that reflection.
Oh.
So now I'm either a big tough girl or crazy as hell because I grabbed a handgun and a flashlight and I went out the back and around the front of the house, and there was absolutely nothing there. Nothing.
No reason for those.
No reason
red eyes
whatsoever. No reason for that whatsoever. So I snapped a photo of the window. I kind of turned to the yard, and went back to the window. It was less than a minute. And if you have the photo of the scratch marks in the window,
I believe so. Let's go on down. Let me plug down a little bit. No. I thought I downloaded. I'm sure you sent them. I'm sure I didn't download it properly. So sorry about that.
In the first photo that I took of the window, right, there's absolutely nothing. Nothing. There's not a creature there. There's nothing on the window screen. So I snapped a photo, turned back to the window, snapped another photo, and there were 3 claw marks, muddy claw marks, down that window screen. And I was standing there the entire time.
Wow.
Nothing was there. It was less than a minute, this whole thing. And
that's frightening. See, I don't go out of the house at night.
Not me. I hear something. I'm down there with a flashlight. I'm trying to check it out, and I'm out there by myself.
Oh, if I'm in a location and I hear noises or I see things, I'll run to it.
Oh, absolutely.
It's never bothered me because I know that I'm protected. That's a whole nother story. But something like that out there that could physically touch me, it drives my husband crazy when we go to places and I end up like channeling serial killers. He said,
"Oh Lord,
because there's something there I can stabby, gun, pew at." It's just it is what it is. So
the part that creeped me out the most about this is that there's this set of eyes, but there's no body to go with it. It's just eyes.
I've heard this. I know I've seen this on some of those.
I was like, what the hell is that?
Shows. I've heard this. I have to look into it.
Yeah.
But I've heard of just the red eyes showing up. That's a legit thing.
I do not open that mini blind anymore.
Okay.
So this was on a trip to Salt Fork that I had in Ohio in 2023. So I went I went to a group camp out there, but I went by myself. My husband, unfortunately, can't go with me a lot of times. So I pulled into the wood line. So the front of my truck is against the woods. And I spent the night, Friday night and Saturday night. So Friday night, I sleep in the back of my Bronco. And Saturday morning, I wake up. We decide to go check out some spots to, to research that night. And it's dirt roads. So we come back to the camp and I get out of my car and I walk around the back and I'm like, what the hell is this?
Looks like a huge handprint.
Yeah. Well, everywhere I touched on the car did not get dusted. Like all the doors, the back latch on the trunk, nothing of my fingerprints were dusted, just these.
Wow.
So of course, I photographed it. And if you really look at it, you can see dermal ridges in all of these.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I called my friend who's a cop and said, I need to know how to lift these prints. And I did lift them. I framed them so that I can take them and show people. But that is literally 17 inches from thumb to finger.
Now stay inside.
I'll
stay inside with the.
So Saturday night, I'm sleeping in the back of the car. This handprint's already there. I'm sleeping in the back of the car. And I had a power bank with a fan because it was getting warm in there. I mean, it's September, so it's still a little warm. Well, the fan shut off and it got warm. And I woke up and I looked at my phone and it said like 2:30. And I look out the back window and it was almost a full moon. So it was, you could make out things, but not make out things. You know what I mean? Like you could just see silhouettes. And standing directly behind my truck was somebody. And I didn't see shoulders or a head. So now I'm a big tough girl. I started to panic a little bit because I was like, oh shit. Like, I didn't even want to blink because if this thing hears me blink, is it going to like smash out my back window, rip me out of the car by my feet? Like, is this how I die? So I laid there very, very quiet and I just kind of tried to listen for it to walk away and I never heard it leave. But when I looked up a couple minutes later, it was gone. Now, Tracy, I would have had to pull through this thing to park where I was parked. So I know it wasn't there before.
Okay.
I didn't see shoulders or a head. So I went into detective mode and was like, well, it's a Ford Bronco Sport. So from the wheels to the very top of the car is about 5.5 feet.
Okay.
So I didn't see shoulders or a head. So this thing needed to be at least 7 foot because I saw the midsection. I didn't see the top part. So
well, the sections that you saw, did it look like somebody with like a human or did it look like it had fur?
It was hard to tell because it was just like the silhouette, but it definitely looked like somebody standing there.
Oh, it could have been a residual. We'll go with that.
Yeah,
it was just a residual thing. So.
I got up Sunday morning and I packed so fast. There was no rhyme or reason to shit. I threw all my stuff in there. It was a huge debacle, and I got out of there. I barely. And I'm on my way home, and I call my husband, and I go, "You are not going to believe what the F happened." I'm a cursor. I swear a lot. So.
Oh, I do too. Just
he's like, well, you got to call Bill Rigby, the guy who organized this thing, and I'm like, he's going to think I'm crazy. So I called Bill, and I told him what I saw, and he goes, "I'll call you right back." And I was like, "What? Like, I just dumped this story on you, and you're like, I'll call you right back." The lady that was camping across from me was in a tent, and she got up to go to the bathroom at about the same time, and she scanned it with her FLIR. She saw something standing there. She got her FLIR up, and there was a heat signature there, but her FLIR doesn't take photos. It was an older model, so we have no photo of it. But she saw what I saw standing behind the car, and I was like, "You have got to be kidding me."
Oh, like, that's awesome. I love that.
So I actually framed these prints and I take them with me for people to see.
Do you use like tape on that? Scotch tape?
Well, girl, I got a Cricut. That's all I had, the tape I had. I had the transfer tape for the Cricut. And so there's lines through it, the grid. And I was like, I don't care. Like, I have to lift these prints. It was crazy. So yeah, I used Cricut transfer paper.
Okay. And we have. And
Now,
this is a footprint?
this is a footprint. Now,
Wow.
I was out there in the Allegheny National Forest is one of my favorite places to go. I go there a lot with a small group that I research with, and they're all ex-military. I don't know why they put up with me, but they always ask me to come out. This was so muddy and so wet that we could not cast it at all. It doesn't look that bad, but it was really bad.
Sure.
And it just had what looked like a footprint impression.
Yeah,
And
you can see the toes.
yeah, you can see the toes,
And you can see where it narrows in.
I had nothing to measure it with. I mean, to lay down next to it to measure it, but it had to have been a good 18 inches long. It was big, and
it looks big.
We're taking a picture of it because I am a picture hound. I take pictures of everything.
Yeah.
So that was one of our finds out at the Allegheny. We have had some really weird experiences out there.
At Allegheny?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I would love to go there.
I love the Alleghenies. And sometimes, and I try to tell people this when I talk research with people, you can't just document the things you find. You have to document the things you don't find.
Right.
Because sometimes they're just as
It'll
important.
show up later. Mm-hmm.
So on this particular trip, we had a 5-gallon bucket of apples.
Okay.
That we sat out in the middle of a field, of a clearing, in the middle of the Allegheny National Forest. There's not even cell phone service where we camp. So like it's out there. And we were there for 4 nights. Nothing touched this bucket of apples, which I found extremely odd. Not a bear, not a deer, not a raccoon, nothing.
Right.
So day 2, I made hamburger packs, foil packs over the fire. And what we had left over, I dumped on top of the apples in the bucket in the middle of the field. Do you know, nothing touched it?
Okay.
Hamburger, potatoes, and apples. Nothing. We ended up dumping that bucket over an embankment before we left 4 days later. Nothing had touched that food. Now, I'm
That's
like,
interesting.
Very interesting that nothing came out to eat any of that.
Well, they didn't want to get into that area, obviously.
Yeah, for whatever reason. It was the oddest thing I'd ever heard and seen. I wouldn't believe it if I hadn't experienced it myself. But it was, sometimes it's about the things that don't happen. Or the evil that are really weird and bizarre.
Definitely. Okay, and this is one that I have missed. So
that is the second magazine that I made. This is actually a car. This was a car that my friend Carter used to have. And he put out a book called Baptized by Abduction. And I'm not sure what happened with that.
Oh, I've interviewed him. What's a nice man.
Carter is wonderful. I love Carter. So there's some weird coincidences with me and Carter. I never knew Carter before like a couple of years ago. And I've never met him in person. I've talked to him on the phone a couple of times and we email a lot. Carter, when he was young, when he was like 7 or 8 years old, he had a friend that him and the friend had gotten abducted and they didn't know it, right? They planted screen memories. The screen memory is of this car.
Oh, okay. So
the crazy things is that Carter and his friend were born on the exact same day. September 16th. They were both born on September 16th.
Okay.
Fast forward to how many years later, Carter and I are friends and we're talking, and I consider Carter and I very close. And Carter and I also share the same birthday.
You're September 16th too?
I am.
Oh, that's a little spooky. I like that.
And I have had some experiences that I can't explain, that I haven't even put out in public because, frankly, they sound a little crazy even to me, and I've lived through them. But Carter and I he's the first person I call when something weird happens. Like last Wednesday, something weird happened, and I woke up in the morning, and my husband was like, "How'd you sleep last night?" And I went, "I have to call Carter," and he was like, "What?" And he gave me a couple of minutes and he tried talking to me and I said, I have to call Carter. Mike's like, okay, you have to call Carter. And I'm like, I got to call Carter. And I did. I called Carter on my way to work. I was like, Carter, you're not going to believe this. And I talked to Carter, but it's just weird to me that him and his friend shared the exact same birthday. They were exactly the same age. Now,
Yeah.
Carter's a little bit older than me. I'm only 52 and he's, I think, 70. I could be wrong. I think he's in his 70s.
I don't know.
Carter and I also share the same birthday, which is weird.
Yeah.
I find that a little strange.
Yeah, I'm going to give you that one. Have to pardon me, but I was hearing somebody tell me, and this is a little odd. I've never had this happen before. Nothing bad. I usually see whoever is talking to me. I can't see the person. I think it's female. Said they passed from cancer in 2011. That y'all were friends, and you felt bad because you didn't talk to her for a while, but not. Oh, I'm sorry. That's my cat. Not to feel bad. She no, she's good. I take it that makes sense.
It absolutely makes sense. Oh, that makes me want to cry.
Oh, yeah, I have a habit of doing that. I don't mean to, but
oh my God.
You know, I've learned if I don't blurt it out, it's like afterwards, people will look, yeah, right. Sure, you thought that.
I can't believe that. Her and I were such close friends, and I moved away. So I hadn't, you move away from people and you lose contact with people and you don't call as often and you don't talk as often anymore because life kind of gets in the way.
Yeah.
And she passed away and I didn't even know it for like several months. And I felt horrible because she was my friend. And I felt like I deserted her. And she died in 2011 of cancer. And oh my gosh. I'm still friends with her on Facebook because I can't let it go.
That's what I just heard. She said, tell her we're still friends. I still check in on her.
Her birthday pops up on my news feed and I still wish her a happy birthday, even though it's been since 2011. That is so cool.
Well, I'm sorry I made you cry, but that's pretty cool.
Good cry. Oh, I've often wondered, I felt like I abandoned her and I felt horrible about it.
Not at all. In fact, I'm getting one of these. Stop.
She absolutely say that too. Oh my gosh. Okay. We had so many private conversations about life, and I do miss her. I miss her terribly. I should have just moved her with me.
I'm saying, look for signs. I'm going to drop signs, little hints and clues. You ever have you ever dreamed of her before?
It's been a long time, yeah, but I've had dreams of her after I first found out she had passed. But it's been a while.
I wouldn't be surprised if she comes through again. That's how they communicate with us. So that, or I wouldn't be surprised if you picked up a smell or you looked at something and it instantly reminds you of her. So. She
was so wonderful. I loved her.
Oh, okay. All right. I feel like I said, I'm sorry I made you cry, but I'm glad.
Good tears. Oh my gosh. That's so awesome.
So, and with that being said, my dear, we are at the top of the hour, which means I could go on for another 2 hours and talk, but we're not going to do that because I'm old. And at some point, I'm going to have to go to the bathroom. So
the bladder call.
Tell everybody where they can get a hold of you and what you got coming up and all that fun stuff.
Oh my gosh. I'm like Bad Money and Discover and Visa. I'm everywhere. You can find me on Facebook. I have multiple pages. I've got the festival page. I've got the magazine page. I've got the store page. I've got the Got Knockers page. I got my own page. If you get on my private page, I have my phone number is there. My email is there. You can contact me on any plethora of the websites, the magazine website, the festival website. I'm very easy to get a hold of. message me on Facebook. You can call me. I don't always answer, so leave me a message. Text messages are the best way to get a hold of me because I get busy and I don't always check my voicemail messages. And then my mailbox gets full and I just delete them all. So text messages are best. I'm just putting it out there up front. I'm probably not going to listen to it if you send me a voicemail. But if you text message me, I will get back to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I'm going to have you back on again.
Oh my gosh,
and,
yeah.
Pretty soon. And the name of your store is?
The Cryptid Collective.
They're going to be carrying my book. We're going to work out the details.
Can't wait.
So at any rate,
big announcement.
Big announcement. Yeah, you got to go to the store just for that. So let me
have to come and schedule a book signing.
There you go. We're close enough. With that being said, I'm going to say thank you again. Put you in the green room. If you need to get on with life, get on with life. If not, I'm going to finish out, meet you back there, and tell you what an amazing person I think you are, and we'll go from there. So thank you, and you have a good night, hon. Thank you so much for tuning in to Beyond the Veil with me, your hostess, Tracy Jones. Every week I do a Did You Know? Well, this one, I have a second question for you. When you hear or when you think of art, whether it's a sculpture or a painting, and the person had horns painted on, do you automatically assume that that's negative, like demonic or, a picture of Satan or whatever? Well, did you know that in the early 4th century, most of the early Christian figures, like Moses, we'll take Moses, for example, was depicted with horns, not because they were evil, but because they had so much wisdom and insight, and it was a way of just honoring them. And then it wasn't until, and that came from the Old Testament. You'll find a lot of it there. So around the 19th century, things, as they do, they change, so they weren't depicted so much with the horns as they were the sunbeams coming down. And it was just thought of as more appropriate. And it showed them being honored and, being brought up to the center of attention and all of that. So with that being said, thank you so much. I will see you next Wednesday live, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook and YouTube Live. Please go on my YouTube page and subscribe. Easiest way to find it without me typing everything out is Tracy Jones -K4F. And because there's apparently a lot of me out there. And if you have a question or comment or whatever, just please send me a message at paranormalwhitewitch@gmail.com. And with that being said, we're going to hopefully do this correctly this week. I'll see you later.
There are signals all around us. Most of them go unnoticed. Some are born able to sense them, born with the veil still present, a mark set to thin the boundary between worlds. For a white witch, the boundary never fully closes. It becomes something you can see through, something you can feel. Respond not to fear the unknown, but to understand it, to listen when it reaches back. Beyond the Veil with Tracy Jones.